Hey there, guys. I am here with my Wrestlemania 2024, and I'm just going to do the entire Wrestlemania weekend. I'm going to do Stand and Deliver and both nights of WrestleMania in one video instead of separating and all that crazy stuff. Just have one kind of long video to go through all of the matches, and let's talk about what I think should happen and what I think will happen. First up, we have NXT Stand and Deliver. First up, we have Shawn Spears versus Joe Gacy, and the build for this match has been pretty decent. I'm just excited to see Shawn Spears back in the WWE. He's always been one of my top guys. When he was playing Ty Dillinger, I really liked him, and I liked him in AEW. Since it's Shawn Spears' first pay-per-view match back, I'm going to say that Shawn Spears is going to take the win. But I'm also a very big fan of Joe Gacy. He's very, very talented. Next up is a match I'm very, very excited for just because I'm a huge Thea Hale fan. But this is kind of set up a lot differently than I thought it would be. I thought we were just going to get JC Jane versus Thea Hale and the others were not going to have a match. But hey, this is good. More people get to have a match on the card, and we're going to get a nice little 6-tag team match. And this is between JC Jane, Kiana James, and I think her name's Izzy Dame. I believe that's who that is. And then they're going against my girl Thea Hale, Fallon Henley, and Kalani Jordan. So a lot of talent in this match, a lot of young, upcoming women stars. So this could be a very good match. And I'm just very excited because I'm always happy to see a Chase U member get in the ring. But I think what makes the most sense is if Team Thea Hale takes the win. Because I know they were hinting at Chase U going away. I think we now know that Chase U is going to be around for a while longer. So yeah, I think that's the correct decision to make. Next up, we have a match for the North American Championship. This is between the current champion Obafemi, Josh Briggs, and Dijak. And for this prediction, I really don't know. I don't think it's going to be Josh Briggs. I feel like he doesn't have that name power yet. I don't know. It just doesn't seem realistic for him to take the win. And for Dijak, I feel like he so much deserves it, but I don't quite know if they're going to give it to him. For Obafemi, he needs to keep his title reign going because so far this title reign has been horrible. I do kind of want it to end. I like Obafemi, but I just feel like there's more talent in other guys, so I would much rather see Dijak take the win, but I do think Obafemi is going to retain. Next up is a match for the NXT Tag Team Champions, and the current champions, the Wolf Dogs, will be taking on Nathan Frazier and Axiom. And I do want to say one thing. I love Nathan Frazier and Axiom teaming up. They're a great team. They really work very well together, but I think individually they are so talented. Definitely Nathan Frazier. I like Axiom, but I really like Nathan Frazier. I feel like Nathan Frazier needs to stop messing around in the tag division. Let him go by himself and shine. I mean, Nathan Frazier was looking very, very good there for a while, and he still does. It's just now he's not seen as an individual that has a lot of power, if you understand what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying, like, he's not somebody that has to be in the tag team division. But prediction-wise, I don't know. I want the Wolf Dogs to lose these titles. I want Braun Breaker to be full 100% main roster. But it seems, I don't really know. I mean, everybody's liking the Wolf Dogs. I think they're good together, but neither one of them needs to be in the tag division. I mean, Baron Corbin, it's cool to see him down in NXT and stuff. He can stay down in NXT because I've really enjoyed his run in NXT. But it's time for Braun Breaker to really shine and stop just taking side quests away from being on the main roster. But I just don't personally see Nathan Frazier and Axiom taking down the Wolf Dogs. It doesn't seem or look realistic for that to happen. So I don't know. I guess I'm just going to go with Nathan Frazier and Axiom taking the win, but I'm not very confident on that one. I feel like that's one of those like 50-50. Next up, we have a match for the NXT Women's Championship, and this is between the now heel Roxanne Perez, which has actually been really neat. She was always kind of very bland as a face, in my opinion. She was just, not bland, I guess. She had nothing special about her compared to everybody else on the roster, but now that she's turned to heel, she's kind of really sticking out and showing some personality, I guess. And then you have Lyra Valkyria. I'm a big fan of Lyra Valkyria. I think she's a great in-ring performer, but her title reign not been the best. I don't really see her as a champion. I don't know why. When I look at her, I don't see her as a champion. She doesn't seem like she has that star power. So I'm kind of ready for her to finally end this reign. But I don't know if they want to give it to Roxanne Perez. But I definitely think it's time for that title reign to end. I'm going to say Roxanne Perez gets back her title. Alright, now we are on to the match for the NXT Championship between Tony D'Angelo versus the current champion Ilya Dragunov. And for the build up to this match, honestly, I have not liked it at all. Maybe it's just because I don't like Tony D'Angelo. I mean, I really don't see much in Tony D'Angelo. It's just my opinion. But I definitely don't want to see him as NXT champion. So I'm hoping that Ilya Dragunov is going to retain. Although I think it's getting about that time that Ilya Dragunov will lose the belt and be called up. But I don't think Tony D'Angelo is going to be the guy to do that. I feel like Tony D'Angelo doesn't have that about him to be a world champion. So my prediction for this match is going to be Ilya Dragunov. And I'm hoping the match will be pretty good. Maybe Tony D'Angelo can make me change my mind about him. Now we are on to Whoop That Trick Williams versus him, Carmelo Hayes. I'm really excited for this match. I've really loved the build to this match. It's been great with the heel turn. Every single promo that they've had against each other has been one of the best things of the entire night of wrestling. So just the build has been so good. So the build has been amazing. I believe everybody's excited for this match. My prediction I'm going to go with is Trick Williams. I mean, Trick Williams has the entire NXT fan base on his side now. He is so hot, and I think it's about that time maybe Carmelo will get called up anyway. So might as well put the younger guy that's still learning over. But for the match itself, it may not be this 5-star amazing match because honestly, I don't see Trick Williams putting on a match like that. He still doesn't have the in-ring talent to do that. He's just very entertaining. So, but the story itself is good enough for me. So that's all my predictions for that show, the NXT Stand and Deliver show that will be on Saturday. It will be at 12 o'clock noon Eastern Time. And so now let's go on to the next show. The next show, of course, would be WrestleMania Night 1, but we're just going to do WrestleMania as a whole. I'm not separating them between nights. We're just going to go through the matches. First up, we have the Hurt Business, of course, the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley versus the Final Testament, Akam, Razor, and Karrion Kross. And honestly, for this match, I think they both kind of need the win, so I don't know who to go with. I'm really 50-50 on this one. But considering that the Final Testament is even more fresh of a faction, I am going to take them to take this match. I feel like they need it more. They're both kind of all names that are not new by any means, but still aren't like a staple within the WWE. Bobby Lashley doesn't need anything else to back him up, and neither does the Street Profits. All are stabilized and amazing talents, and we all know that. With Akam and Razor, they just came back. Karrion Kross, we see something in Karrion Kross, yet we haven't been able to bring it out of him. So Karrion Kross is still trying to prove himself. So I do think the Final Testament needs this one. Next up, we have the LWO versus Legado del Fantasma, yet it's kind of all thrown together because LWO was one thing, and then now there's something else because they have thrown Dragon Lee in. The Legado del Fantasma does not contain Dominic Mysterio, yet he's fighting on behalf of them, which I kind of understand why Dominic is here. There really wasn't anybody else in Legado del Fantasma that could have like this star power to be able to go against somebody like Rey Mysterio. There's just not. Humberto and Angel are both phenomenal talents, yet they can't compare to a team with Rey Mysterio. Yet for the LWO, why Dragon Lee? Like, Dragon Lee wasn't shown on TV for a long time. Everybody else was building up this storyline against Santos Escobar, and Dragon Lee was not. So why would you get Dragon Lee to enter? It just doesn't make sense. I would have rather have seen Carlito and Rey Mysterio versus Dominic and Santos. I feel like that makes a lot more sense. Rey Mysterio really doesn't need like a big partner with a lot of star power because he just completely carries all of that for his team because he's that kind of name. But yeah, I mean, maybe I'm just saying this because I'm not the biggest Dragon Lee fan, but I mean, I don't hate Dragon Lee. I just feel like he's been really pushed to the moon, while there's been other guys working really hard in NXT and has been there longer than him that really deserve it more. I just see Dragon Lee as more of a bland kind of guy. But the match itself could be very good. I mean, with the potential involvement of Bad Bunny, I think this match could be. If Bad Bunny comes, this is going to be amazing. This will be such a fun event. Because, I mean, who doesn't like to see an appearance from Bad Bunny? But yeah, even if Bad Bunny doesn't show up, that's just kind of something I want. That's something I dream. But it's not something like I expect. But yeah, overall, I really like the build up to this match, kind of, until they added them in there. But whatever, I'm not going to stay on that topic. My prediction, I think I'm going to go with Ray and Dragon Lee. Because usually in these kind of like family scenarios, always the good guy comes out on top. So yeah, I think Ray, definitely just because of Ray, is going to win this match. And if Bad Bunny shows up, we know Bad Bunny's a face, so then if Bad Bunny's there, we know definitely Ray is going to win. Next up, we got a match that I'm actually fairly excited for. I really like ladder matches, definitely like the tag team ladder matches. So this is the 6-pack ladder match, and it's going to have Awesome Truth, Grayson Waller, and Austin Theory. The new Catch Crew. Wait, no, that's with the British Republic or something like that. I can never remember what they're going by, but they are a great team. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. DIY, Judgment Day, and The New Day. Alright, but before we get into this, I did have to double check it. They are the Catch Crew. Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. I had to double check. I have no idea why I thought that was Charlie Dempsey's group. But yeah, I think this could be a great match. There's a lot of high-flying talent and stuff to where there could be a lot of cool things going on. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate are both great when it comes to stuff like that. We already know about Kofi Kingston, Johnny Gargano. I mean, there's just a lot of great talent in this match. I think it'll be a good match. But for my prediction, I don't really know. I've been wanting them to split the titles. I wish they would have done something to where it would split the titles between Raw and SmackDown. But it looks like that's not what they're doing. But I'm going to have to go with Awesome Truth. Just because it makes way more sense for them to win. They have the biggest build to actually trying to get the tag titles, because of their amazing fun feud with the Judgment Day. So yeah, I'm going to go with Awesome Truth. And in this next match, there is a lot of star power. On one team, you have the EST, Bianca Belair, Naomi, which I'm glad Naomi got an actual WrestleMania spot, and Jade Cargill making her in-ring debut, not counting Royal Rumble. This is her first ever, actual match. And they will be taking on Damage Control, Asuka, Kairi Sane, and Dakota Kai. And so, for my prediction, I really wouldn't be mad if it went either way, but I am going to go with the team of Bianca, Naomi, and Jade, just because I feel like Jade's first match, she's going to shine in this match, because everybody thinks she's the future, so she's really just going to show it in this match. I think the match will be focused on her a lot. I think she'll have a lot of spots. And so it just wouldn't make sense for her to lose her first match, even if it is a tag match. But also on the other end, I would see why Damage Control would win. I mean, they're a big women's faction in the WWE, so they need to prove their dominance. But yeah, they're just really hot right now, showing their dominance, so keep the reign going. So yeah, I think this match could go either way, but my final prediction is going to be Jade Cargill's team. Next up is a feud that's been heating up recently. This is LA Knight, versus AJ Styles. And as we know, LA Knight got arrested on SmackDown for going to AJ Styles' home and trying to fight him. That was such a funny segment. I did like that. But for the overall match, I am kind of mad that this match is happening. Not just because, I like both talents. I love AJ Styles, but I feel like LA Knight could be doing something different. Not that AJ Styles isn't a good opponent, but I feel like he could have had a better feud with somebody like Logan Paul. Somebody that's a really, really mean heel that he can put on amazing promos with and actually go for a title, not just go for fighting. Because I think it's time for LA Knight to get a title shot. I knew they weren't going to push him to the world title yet, So why not let him go after Logan Paul? But seems like they had other ideas. But considering LA Knight is the rising star. He's not a rising young star, but he is a rising star because as we know, he's already in his 40s. But since he's the guy trying to work his way up to the top, and it's not going to hurt AJ Styles' career. I mean, AJ Styles is going in the Hall of Fame. So I would see why he would put the future stars over. So I'm going to take LA Knight. Yeah. Next up, we have the IC title match between the current champion Gunther, which is on his amazing title reign, the greatest Intercontinental Championship reign of all time. And he's going to be taking on Sami Zayn. And kind of like the match before, I like the star power in it, and I think they could put on a great match. But I do wish it was somebody else going against Gunther. I feel like there is somebody else that he could put on a way better storyline with. This storyline has been very, very mediocre. It feels like there's really nothing there. They're just announcing the match. It seems like they didn't know where to put Sammy, but they did want Sammy on the event because he's well deserving of a WrestleMania match. I'm not saying that. So they just threw him in with Gunther. But Gunther, he could have had a way better storyline with somebody like Chad Gable, which I do know Chad Gable's involved in this. I mean, heck, even Braun Breaker would make more sense than Sami Zayn. But just this match, I don't know. The build for it has been horrible, in my opinion. And there's no way they're going to end this amazing title reign with a very trash storyline like this. There's no way Sami Zayn is beating him. I will be very, very mad if Sami wins. I'm taking Gunther. Now we got the match for Logan Paul's U.S. champion. This is between Kevin Owens, Randy Orton, and of course the current champion, Logan Paul. And this match, like I said, I wanted to see Logan Paul versus LA Knight. So this kind of brings down the hype for this, because I still feel like Logan Paul versus LA Knight would be bigger than this, even though the star power wouldn't be as big, because as we know, Randy Orton's one of the biggest names in professional wrestling history. Kevin Owens is amazing. I mean, the match could definitely be very good, but I feel like neither of those two actually need the title. Logan Paul, he's not early on into his reign, but he's early on to defending his title in this reign, and I feel like I don't really want his title reign to end like this. I feel like he could have done a lot better. He's this very evil heel. We know evil heels, they can hold a title reign that everybody loves. And this has been the complete opposite, just because he really wasn't there until he actually started his feud with Kevin Owens. And then now he's actually starting to be there on a weekly basis, which is how we want to see. But yeah, his just title reign was very disappointing. I really don't want it to end now, because I don't like ending horrible title reigns like that. But I just don't see a world where Logan Paul beats both of these guys. I feel like Randy Orton has a better story for this title rather than Kevin Owens. So I'm going to go with Randy Orton as my prediction. Now, this match, the build, has been amazing. This is between the current champion, Io Sky, and Bayley. And Bayley has done such a good job of becoming a face. She was this evil heel that would play tricks and all this, and now she's this person that you want to feel bad for, and it's just so good. That it just shows how good of a character worker Bayley is. She can be an amazing heel, this evil heel, and she can be this amazing happy baby face, which we knew when she was doing the I'm a Hugger gimmick. But yeah, this has just been a great build-up overall. Her getting kicked out of Damage Control, it's all been good. I have no gripe over this at all. So yeah, I'm very excited for this match, but I definitely think it's Bayley's time. Bayley is one of the 4 horsewomen, and she just they treat her as if she's not a 4 horsewoman. She is always pushed aside. They always push somebody else before her, but we always have seen this talent in her. We know how good she is. It's just they don't always let us see it. But yeah, I think it's her time to shine, get her good WrestleMania moment, winning a title at WrestleMania. It's going to be amazing. She definitely well deserving of this. It's been a while since we've seen her in this main event picture. Next up is the match for the Women's World Champion, and this is between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. Now, Rhea has held this belt for right around a year now. She won it at last year's WrestleMania, and it just seems like this entire time, her entire title reign, which has seemed very dominant, she seems like nobody can stop her, like nobody. Every person she has gone against is looked like, but when I'm making my predictions, I'm like, okay, Rhea Ripley, that's easy. I don't have to think about it, and it's not because she's going against horrible people, it's just because she is so dominant that she makes other people look little, if that makes sense. And even Becky Lynch, Becky Lynch is bona fide Hall of Famer, but I don't know. I don't see her beating Rhea Ripley. Becky Lynch definitely doesn't need the win. But who is there to beat Rhea Ripley? If Becky Lynch does not beat Rhea Ripley, who can? I don't know. I really don't know. That's just how dominant Rhea has made herself look and how she is presented. And so I'm going to have to go with Rhea Ripley. I think that's the safe option here. But I definitely see why it would be Becky Lynch. Because if not Becky Lynch, who? That's my point. But yeah, I'm going to take Rhea Ripley. Next up is a match for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And this is between, of course, the current champion Seth freaking Rollins and Drew McIntyre. This is the second time we've seen this match. I think it was Crown Jewel that we saw it, and I actually really liked that match. I thought it was quite underrated. And honestly, for that match, I was very confident that Drew McIntyre was taking the win. They just really made it seem like he was going to, and then Seth Rollins with his injured back, quote unquote, which I don't actually know if it's injured. There's no way he would still be champion if it was actually injured. But the build for this match has been good, yet kind of weird, because Seth Rollins has been involved with the Bloodline situation, helping out Cody Rhodes to take on The Rock and Roman Reigns. So it's like Seth Rollins is fighting two battles at once. And it just seems like this storyline has kind of felt like an afterthought. And I hate to say that because Drew McIntyre is a big deal to me. I think he really deserves a title. Now, I mean, he had his big moment with no crowd, which is very, very unfair for him. Because if you didn't watch it during the COVID-19 era, as I like to say, Drew McIntyre carried that entire era. And that was a horrible time to be carrying. Wrestling was at its lowest. It was as boring as it could ever be. So he deserves fans for his title reign. I love Drew McIntyre. He's amazing. And Seth Rollins, he didn't need this title reign in the first place, but he has done a great job adding prestige to this title. When this title was first created, when he first won it, it had nothing. It wasn't worth a dime to like the fans. If we saw somebody beat him, it wouldn't really mean anything. Now it seems very prestigious. I don't know. It might just be me. Some people say they don't see it as prestigious. They think, like, my point is if somebody beats him, I'm going to be very surprised. But my prediction, I'm going to have to go with Drew McIntyre. I just feel like Seth Rollins doesn't need it. Drew McIntyre does. Let Drew McIntyre shine. Next up, we have the brother versus brother. Yeet versus no Yeet. Jimmy Uso versus Jey Uso match. And I mean, I knew we were going to get this match. And I was excited for it. But the build for this has been lazy, in my opinion. They really didn't build it up at all. The build for this match was them being 1 and 2 for the Royal Rumble and fighting there. The rest was absolutely lazy. They really didn't do anything about it. It's like they knew that we knew we were getting this match. So they just let us book it for ourselves, I guess. I don't know. It was a very, very weird situation. I feel like they face to face one time and then all of a sudden it's a match. it's like, I guess it's obvious that we're having this match. We don't need a storyline because they built that up last year. Like, why? It makes no sense. I wanted to get some nice promos out of it. We didn't get any of that. But yeah, for my prediction, I really think it could go either way. But I am going to go Jey Uso. Jey Uso has been the popular of the two. It just really makes sense for him to take this win. Next up is a absolutely huge match. The star power in this match is actually crazy. It is, it's wild. It's three of the top three wrestlers of this current age, and then like a blast from the past in The Rock. And people can say what they want about there's no need for The Rock to come and all this. I don't care. This build up has been amazing. I've liked every single promo that has involved this storyline has been like segment of the night. Like, The Rock can do anything you put in front of this guy. Hollywood. Acting, he does it. Being an amazing big fan favorite that gets a huge pop, he does it. Being this evil heel that everybody hates, he does it. Heck, being a football player, he does it. Starting a business, he does it. He literally has his own football league. I mean, The Rock is just so good. Now, is he going to be this guy that's going to put on a 5-star match anymore? No, this match may be kind of, I don't know. I don't know how the match is going to be, honestly, but I don't really care because the match is still going to be so meaningful. Of course, the other three can all put on a great match, but I mean, I don't know. When I see this match, I see Seth Rollins as the guy to take the pin. Seth Rollins has been involved in the feud, yet behind the not behind the scenes, but he's kind of just been there, you know. Like, he's just been there. Cody Rhodes is the guy that's actually leading his team. Like, he's the guy that has meaning in the storyline. Seth Rollins is just there because he hates them. And we know if the Bloodline wins this match that of Cody versus Roman Reigns for night 2 is going to be Bloodline rules, which we know Bloodline rules means Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, everybody's going to come out there and attack Cody Rhodes and all that. And that's going to happen. It's a Bloodline match. We know that's going to happen. So my prediction is that The Rock and Roman Reigns will defeat Cody and Seth. Seth will be the one to get pinned. They're not going to pin Cody Rhodes the day before he goes against Roman Reigns. That would make no sense. But yeah, the pop for this match, the crowd is going to be electric. It's going to be amazing. But from an in-ring perspective, I don't know. I think they have great workers. I mean, Cody and Seth can both really go. Roman Reigns can still go, although he's not one to put on like a 5-star classic. And The Rock has aged. So I don't really care about that. I just know this match is going to be amazing. And then we have, for the WWE Undisputed Champion, we have Roman Reigns versus the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Will Cody Rhodes be able to finish his story? We saw this last year at WrestleMania. He failed to finish. And of course, he was cheated out. But I do think this is the last time we'll see this match, like when it's quote unquote a part of the story or whatever. Because I think this will be the end of the story. I think he will complete his story. Honestly, I will be very mad if he doesn't complete his story because it really just won't make sense. Roman Reigns' title reign has been so long. It's been a great title reign, but it's coming to the point to where it's so long that he has nobody else to face. He's no longer showing up. We need a fighting champion for SmackDown because people are starting to get mad. It's starting to get old. So yeah, it's time for it to end. It has been a great title reign. And if he did beat Cody, who in the world is left to go against him? Like, are we going to wait for Braun Breaker to become a big star? No, this title reign needs to end soon. And this is the best way to do it. Let Cody finish his story. Make him losing the title as meaningful as it can be. This is probably the most meaningful thing like that could happen. So yeah, my prediction is Cody Rhodes. And honestly, I'm almost 100% on that. I will be very, very shocked if he does lose. Alright guys, oh my lord, thank you guys for sticking around. This has been probably my longest predictions video yet. It has to be. This is almost 30 minutes. But yeah, thank you all for sticking around. I'm very, very excited for WrestleMania weekend. I think it's all going to be very, very fun. And turn on post notifications because I will have reviews and ratings for all of the shows. I'm going to show the reveals from WWE World, all the new figure reveals. So yeah, just stay in tune. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around so long.